Good day everyone. I am Joyfred Tali Il Agimlod. So by the way, I am going to report a American regime followed by Commonwealth era and last the Japanese occupation or the era of Hokbalap. So first I will discuss the American regime. American regime, long live America. So American regime or the pananakop ng mga Amerikano in Philippines. So in American regime, uh, during this period, so there are a lot of laws or regulation they implemented, and it is all about the land. So first we have here the Philippine Bill of 1902. So Philippine Bill of 1902, so it is a law that give Filipinos more control over their government, but the Americans still had a lot of power, and it was a step towards eventual independence. So, dito sa Philippine Bill of 1902, the American give Filipino, binibigyan ng karapatan ng mga Amerikano ang Pilipino na makapag-control about sa lupa, but the US still had a lot of power. So, Philippine Bill of 1902 set the ceilings on the hectareage of private individuals and corporation may acquire 16 has for private individuals and 1,024 has for corporations. So, it is stated that for private individuals, they have only 16 has, and for corporation, they have 1,024. So, next we have here the Land Registration Act of 1902, Act number 496. So, this act provided for a comprehensive registration of land titles under the Torrens system. So, in this act or in this law, it is established or implemented or made in order for people to make easier in the Philippines to officially prove who owned land. It set up a court to decide who owned land and created a system to record land ownership. So this law, nakakatulong ito para mapagaan or mapadali lang para sa mga Pilipino na makapagmamay-ari ng lupa. And tinutulungan din ito or sineset up sa court to decide who own a land para ma-identify kung ikaw ba talaga yung nagmamay-ari ng lupa and mabigyan ng katibayan na ikaw talaga yung nagmamay-ari ng lupa. So, the fourth one, we have Public Land Act of 1903. Introduced the homestead system in the Philippines. So, this law passed by the American government. So, it was designed to sell large areas of public land in United States, particularly in the Midwest and West. This law was a part of series laws that aimed to make it easier for people to buy and settle in these regions. So, Public Land Act. So, in this act is all about it is designed to sell large areas of public land, and it is also help people to make it easier for people to buy land and settle in these regions. So next we have Tenancy Act of 1933, Act number 4054 and 4113. Regulated relationships between landowners and tenants of rice, 50-50 sharing and sugar cane lands. So in these acts, so the landowners, they make sure that the sharing to the land tenants, rather the sharing of landowners to the tenants is totally equal. Walang mataas, walang mababa, kundi pantay-pantay lang talaga. So yun yung nakalagay, or this law, it is all about pantay-pantay or equality of landlords and tenants. the law was a way for the government to make money and encourage people to move to these areas. Also helped to open up a new land for farming and other economic activities. So that's all for American regime. So I already explained to you the different or the implemented act or laws during American regime. So I repeat, so this implemented act was all about equality, equality when it comes to land. It's also about the land, how to own a lands, how to manage. So let's proceed to I forgot to discuss the Turing system. So Turing system, so I will discuss it is also implemented by Americans. So the Turing system, it is a simpler way to record land ownership and introduced in the Philippines. So the aim of Turing systems is to make easier to buy and sell land and stop arguments about who owned what. So in Turing system, so nawawalan ng hindi nagkakaroon ng gulo. In fact, the Turing system is help people para mapadali lang yung pag-sell and buy ng land. So that's all for American regime. So let's proceed to Commonwealth period. So Commonwealth period, so or the government for the Filipino. So in Commonwealth period, so the Filipino, nakuha na nila ang tunay na kalayaan. Mayroon na silang freedom. So it's called government for the Filipinos because this government is run by Filipinos, which is President Manuel Quezon. So President Manuel L. Quezon espoused social justice program to arrest the increasing unrest in Central Luzon. Significant legislations enacted during Commonwealth period include the following. So before I proceed, so Manuel L. Quezon during Commonwealth period, so he worked hard. He worked hard to improve things for Filipinos. He is also trying to make sure everyone was treated fairly. So in Commonwealth period, so dito nagkakaroon na ng pantay-pantay or equality. Sinisigurado ni Manuel L. Quezon na walang mataas, walang mababa, kundi pantay-pantay lang talaga sila. Magkakaroon sila or he will implemented laws that is equal for Filipino people. So he first established a social justice. So social justice, so ang ibig sabihin ng social justice is everyone is treated fairly and making sure everyone has a good life. So in social justice, so natatakal pa din or dito pa rin na napagkaloob din dito yung about treating everyone fairly, and it helped people who were struggling. So next, 1935 Constitution. So the promotion of social justice to ensure the well-being and economic security of all Filipinos should be concerned of the state. So in 1935 Constitution, this was a new set of rules for the Philippines. It said that everyone should be treated fairly. So again, the 1935 Constitution is they ensure the social justice, and it is also about or ito ay tungkol pa rin sa about sa equality ng people. Dito nababanggit na dito yung that everyone should be treated fairly. So 1935 Constitution is also about equality. So next, Commonwealth Act number 178, an amendment to Rice Tenancy Act number 4045 4045. November 13, 1936. Provided for certain controls in the landlord-tenant relationships. So in this act, it is about how farmers rent land. It wanted to make sure landlords were fair to the farmers. So again, this act is nauugnay pa rin sa natackle ko kanina because it is provided for certain controls in the landlord. So nagkakaroon pa din ito na equality sa landlord and tenant relationships. So pinapatibay nila and making sure that the landlord and tenant relationships are sharing equal benefits or equal rights about tenancy or rice tenancy or yung mga nangungupahan sa rice. So next, National Rice and Corn Corporation or NARIC 1936 established the price of rice and corn, thereby helped the poor tenants as well as consumers. So in this act, this group helped, or the NARIC is a group, helped make sure rice and corn were cheap so everyone could buy on them. So this act is all about dito binababa yung presyo ng rice and corn in order for the poor people para maka-consume sila, makabili sila, and as well as the consumers also. So dito yung mga bilihin dito like rice and corn is so cheap lang, binababa nila. Ang act na ito is nagbababa ng presyo sa rice and corn. Ganon din para matulungan yung mga mahihirap. So next, Commonwealth Act number 461 1937 specified reasons for the dismissal of tenants and only with the approval of Tenancy Division of the Department of Justice. So this law said that landlords had to get permission before kicking farmers of their land. So this act hindi basta-basta makakapaalis yung mga landlords o may-ari na lupa sa mga tenants or yung mga nangungupahan lamang. In fact, this law help those tenants na kapag magpapaalis or they kick tenants is they will ask first permission para mapaalis yung mga tenants, or bibigyan muna nila ng linaw or clarification, or they just want to make it clear kung ano ba talaga yung dahilan bakit paalisin mo yung isang tenants or yung nangungupahan lamang. So as I repeat, so this act is all about the landlords had to get permission before kicking farmers off their land. So next, we have Rural Program Administration created March 2, 1939. So provided the purchase and lease of haciendas and their sale and lease to tenants. So these laws and programs are part of making the Philippines a better place for Filipino. So it provided the purchase and lease of haciendas and their sale and lease to the tenants. So parang it is similar pa rin sa natakal ko earlier, that parang binababa pa rin yung mga purchase of haciendas and their sale and lease to tenants para mas makakaroon ng pribilehiyo yung mga tenants. Is this this program is binababa yun nila yung kanilang sale, yung kanilang purchase about sa haciendas. So next, or the last one, the Commonwealth Act number 441 enacted on June 3, 1939 created the National Settlement Administration with a capital stock of 20 million pesos rather. So this act is all about the National Settlement Administration with a capital stock of 20 million pesos. So parang it's all about a budget napakalaking budget. So that's all for Commonwealth period. So as I repeat or uulitin ko para mas maintindihan nyo, ang Commonwealth period, it is a government for a Filipino because this government is truly run by a pure Filipino, and Commonwealth period is all about the equality. Dito na nagkakaroon ng mga Pilipino na equal rights, freedom, or pantay-pantay. So that's all for Commonwealth period. So let's proceed to the last topic that I'm going to explain, which is the Japanese occupation. So Japanese occupation, so nangyari ito during World War II in 1940, during 1940. So in Japanese occupation, the era of Hukbalahap emerged. So dito nagkakaroon ng era of Hukbalahap, or alam nyo ba yung Hukbalahap na ano? So Hukbalahap, it stands for Hukbo-bayan Laban Hapon. So this group is against sa Japanese, sa pamumuno ng Japanese dito sa Pilipinas. So as we all know, so alam naman natin talaga kung gaano ka-cruel yung pananakop ng Japanese sa atin. So as I remember, so i-recall ko kung gaano talaga yung Spanish is one of the example kung gaano sila ka-cruel is yung Death March. So during Japanese occupation is napakahigpit. So maraming Pilipino ang namamatay nito, and maraming Pilipino ang against sa kanila. The Philippines, they control the Philippines sa ilang taon. So, the Second World War II started in Europe in 1939 and in the Pacific in 1941. Hukbalahap controlled whole areas of Central Luzon. Landlords who supported the Japanese lost their lands to peasants, while those who supported the Hawks earned fixed rentals in favor of the tenants. Unfortunately, the end of war also signaled the end of gains acquired by peasants. So, in Japanese occupation, so about sa land, so those landlords, yung mga nagmamay-ari ng lupa na nagsuporta sa Japanese during World War II is nawalan sila ng lands. While those who supported the Hukbalahap, nagkakaroon sila o nakakaipon sila ng mga fixed rentals in favor sa mga tenants or yung mga nangungupahan lamang. Yung mga nangungupahan lamang is nagkakaroon na sila ng sariling lupa, while yung mga landlords o yung may-ari na talaga na lupa is nawalan sila na lupa. It's because they supported Japanese. So the era of Hukbalahap, so yung mga Hukbalahap, sila talaga yung mga against sa marami silang ginawa or mga strategy para lang labanan yung mga Hapon. So upon the arrival of the Japanese in the Philippines in 1942, peasants and workers organization grew strength. Many peasants took up arms and identified themselves with the anti-Japanese group, the Hukbalahap o Hukbong-bayan Laban Hapon. So if you were a peasants din, kukuha ka na armas, so you ma-identified mo na talaga yung sarili mo na anti-Japanese group, or you are the member or magiging member ka na Hukbalahap or yung Hukbo-bayan Laban Hapon pag kukuha ka na armas din. And in addition, so during the arrival of Japanese in the Philippines in 1942, so mas lalong yung organization ng peasants or yung mga alipin, yung mga nangungupahan lamang at saka workers is mas umusbong pa or mas tumatag pa lalo. So that's all for my topic. I hope guys na maiintindihan nyo yung aking mga na-explain sa'yo. So that's all for my report. So good luck guys and God bless. Thank you.